Handicapper Steve here, handicapping the racing from Churchill Downs here on Saturday. It's the 23rd of May 2020. Gonna look at the stakes races on the program from Churchill, but before I get on to that, remember to please follow me on Twitter at Horse Racing. Get 5 for more selections for race courses around the world, and join me Monday for my Shoemaker Mile preview video from the Great Race Place Santa Anita Park. But let's get to the stakes action here on Stephen Foster Day, preview day from Churchill. The stakes action, we'll be looking at races 7 through 11, so basically the all stakes late pick 5. Let's start off with the 7th race, which is the Shawnee Stakes. It's going for a purse of $100,000 race for fillies, mares, 4-year-olds and upwards. We have a field of 8 horses entered to go the distance of ground of 1,700 meters if you want to go by that, or the distance of ground of 1.116 on the Churchill main track. 1,700 meters, 1.16 here in the Shawnee, the inaugural Shawnee Stakes. And I show the diagram, just gives me a second to look down at my notes, just bear with me. Top selection, we're going to go with the number 4 horse, Dunbar Road. We'll go 4-1-8-3 in the superfecta, 4-1-8-3 super. Top selection 4 horse, Dunbar Road, for a flip by Quality Road. Chad Brown trains, Jose Ortiz gets the mount. The horse's most recent outing came 2nd November at Santa Anita, mile and 8th in the Grade 1 Breeze Cup Distaff. Third time facing older horses. The horse finished 5th by 7.25 lengths there, and she just never was really comfortable. I don't know if she liked the course. She just never got the good turn of foot. She ran a terrific race in the Alabama, but she could never really find that form after that. Fresh season here today, training well in South Florida. I'm going to give her a shot in her 4-year-old campaign. 2 back in the Grade 1 Spinster at Keeneland on mile 8th, October the 6th. She finished 3rd by 1.5 lengths there. And again, she stalked away around the race course, but she could never quicken up. Blue Prize went on to win the Breeze Cup. Distaff ran a terrific race. Elite went on to run in the Classic, ran a crap race back to her that day. And Dunbar Road just never could get there late. And then before then, the Alabama on the slop Saratoga go in the mile and quarter. She won by 2 3/4 lengths, and she kept going. She quickened up, closed up well from the back packet. That was a very good race. And then before then, the Mother Goose, she won by 2.5 lengths. Again, a little wide, but when she got the foot, she won nicely. You know, if she runs the race, if she runs the Gulfstream Park Oaks, the Mother Goose, or the Alabama, she wins this race easily. 4-5. Let's take her. I think her Wise Guy horse, definitely you want to use him in the multis, would be the 1 horse Moonlight Garden from Marcassi. The most recent races weren't run half bad, and you know, it ran 3 times on the surface, has 1/3 to her name, but that 3rd place in the Fall Highway, Fall City, wasn't a bad race. Again, we'll definitely use her on the multis at 15-1. I think she'd get a piece. So to recap my selection for the 7th from Churchill, it's the Shawnee Stakes. Let's take the 4 horse Dunbar Road as a top selection. We'll go 4-1-8-3 in the superfecta, 4-1 in the multi. Let's get to race 8. Race 8 from Churchill, it is the Tepin Stakes. Purse $100,000 race for 3-year-old fillies here. We have a field of 15 horses entered, but only 14 could go to the turf course. A distance of ground is 1,600 meters, or the 1-mile trip on the Churchill Downs turf course. 1,600 meters, 1 mile here in the Tepin. And I think this might be the 3rd stakes race named after her. I know there's a Tepin race at Aqueduct, and I could have swore there's one at Gulfstream also, so or something like that. But you know, it's starting to get they have to get a little creative with these stakes race names. But the top selection here, I like the 3 horse Walking Marrakesh. We'll go 3-9-7-2 in the superfecta, 3-9-7-2 super. Top selection 3 horse Walking Marrakesh, 3-0 filly here. Ignacio Correas trains. Jose Ortiz gets the mount. The horse's most recent outing in the Sandoval Island at Gulfstream, 1 mile, March 28th. The horse finished 5th by 2.5 lengths there, and had a little trouble trip. She just couldn't get there late. I'm going to give her a better shot on this turf course. It really plays towards closers. If she could close like she did last time out, I think she has a better chance of winning. Before then, the Grade 3 Florida Oaks at Tampa, mile 16th, March 7th. She finished 2nd by head. She stalked all the way around the race course. She nearly got the outburst late. Again, not the world's worst race for her. And then a race she should have won in the Natalma at Woodbine on a soft turf course. 1 mile, September the 15th. I had a little tongue-tied today. But she finished 2nd by nose behind Upscon, and she was with them early on. She just couldn't quicken up late. Upscon closed up basically from a starting position to get her, but you know, she still ran her heart out there. But before that, she was running in France. She ran in the Prix de Calvados, where she just kind of hit the wall late. But before that, she won Illicit Stakes at Sandown very nicely, and she won a novice at Ayr in Scotland very nicely over the mile trip. I would like to see her coming from a little bit behind here today at 10-1. Let's give her a shot. I also think the 9 horse Sharing, your Breeze Cup Juvenile Fillies turf winner, has a strong chance also. She'll probably leave from the outside. She'll be with him early on, and I think she's a good horse, and her buyer numbers aren't half bad. At 3-1, let's definitely use her on the multi-race also, and also you have to use Outburst. If there's going to be a horse going wide wire, I think it's going to be her. I think that's her best thing. But to recap my selection now for the 8th from Churchill, it's the Tepin Stakes. Let's take the 3-horse walk in Marrakesh. We'll go 3-9-7-2 in the superfecta, 3-9-7 in the multi-race. Let's get to the 9th event. The 9th race from Churchill, it's the Blame Stakes, purse $100,000, race for 4-year-olds and upwards here. We have a field of 14 horses entered to go the 1,600-meter journey, or 1 mile on the main track. 1,600 meters, 1 mile, Churchill main track here in the Blame. Local prep race for the Stephen Foster. But Stephen Foster is going to be running a mile in the 8th. I don't know why they have a one-turn mile prep race. I think it should be at least a mile 16th, but that's my personal opinion. But the top selection here, I'm going to go with the 3-horse Global Campaign. We'll go 3-6-7-8 in the superfecta, 3-6-7-8 super. Top selection, 3-horse Global Campaign, 4-year-old colt by Curlin. Stanley Huff trains. Jose Ortiz again gets the mount. The horse's most recent outing came at Gulfstream, 25th of April, 7 furlongs off 75. First start since the Jim Dandy. The horse won by 1.5 lengths, and he sat back early. He quickened up, and he got the job done. That was a very good run, very good return to the races. Coming here, 1-turn mile, which I think is really in his wheelhouse. Jose Ortiz up. I think he's going to really run a good race. 2 back in the Jim Dandy at Saratoga, mile 8, July 27th. He finished 3rd by 4.5 lengths there, and it was very wide that day, which he wanted to be at Saratoga that afternoon. There was a dead rail, and but he just, I think the 2-turn mile 8th was very tiring to him. Like I said, coming back to a one-turn race, I think it's really in his wheelhouse. Wouldn't surprise me next if he wins today. You see him in the Met Mile or something like that in about 6 weeks' time. And then before that, he ran the Peter Pan at Belmont, mile 8th, May the 11th, and he won by 1/4 lengths. And small Peter Pan field last year, only had 4 of the rivals, but he stalked, he got the lead, then he quickened up. Sir Winston was getting to him late, but he got the job done. Very, very good run. Keep in mind, Sir Winston won next turn out in the Belmont Stakes a few weeks later, so he got beat by the horse that finished behind him was a decent horse. And then before then, the Fountain Youth at Gulfstream, mile 16th, March 2nd. He finished 5th by 5.5 lengths there, and he just never really got going. Like I said, I just don't think he's a 2-turn kind of horse. He did win around 2 turns at Gulfstream, but that's going a mile 16th, which is very speed favoring, and he basically had everything his own way in the front end, and he just got the job done very, very easily. But his buyer numbers are very good. He's been training well. 9-2. Let's give him a shot here in the Blame. If there's a horse that could upset, Backyard Heaven off the break here. He's been training very well at Turfway and here at the over at the Churchill Downs Training Center. I think coming back to Churchill where he's had his greatest success, I think he could really run a good race. Also back to a 1-turn mile should really suit him well. 6-1, Backyard Heaven. We'll definitely use him on the multis. If his price gets nice enough to say 10-1, I might do a small win place on him, but he can definitely win on paper. So to recap my selection for the 9th from Churchill, it is the Blame Stakes. Let's take the 3-horse Global Campaign. We'll go 3-6-7-8 in the superfecta, 3-6 in the multi-race. Let's get to the feature 10th race from Churchill. The 10th race from Churchill, it is the Winn Stakes, Grade 3, purse $150,000, races for 3-year-olds here. We have a field of 12 horses entered to go the distance of ground of 1,700 meters, or the distance of ground of mile and 1/16th on the Churchill dirt course. 1,700 meters, mile 16th main track, and the Winn, kind of now a prep race for the Belmont Stakes coming up in a month's time, but it's a good race here. And my top selection, I'm going to go with the 11-horse Attachment Rate. We'll go 11-6-9-10 in the superfecta, 11-6-9-10 super. Top selection, 11-horse Attachment Rate. 3-year-old colt by Hardspun. Dale Romans trains. John Velasquez gets the mount. The horse's most recent outing came 25th of April at Gulfstream Park, mile 16th in the Unbridled Stakes, and the horse finished 2nd by 1.5 lengths, and he sat back early. He had a great turn of foot. It wasn't the world's worst race for him. Coming here, sitting hopefully a little closer, I think he'd get the job done. Before then, the Grade 3 Gotham at Aqueduct, 1 mile, March 7th, he finished 3rd by 2 lengths, and again, he was mowing him down late. Nothing bad about that race. I thought he ran a decent race there. And then before that, in the main special weight at Gulfstream on the slop, a 1-turn mile, he won by 6 1/4 lengths there. And, he sat back early, slowly moved the way up, and, 88 buyer on the slop. That was a good race. His debut on this track, though, was a disaster, going 3/4 of a mile back in June, where he finished 11th by 19 lengths there, and he just never really he got into it early, but then he kind of hit the wall late. Very inexperienced horse. Came back to earlier this year at Goldstream where he had a very good place and then finally broke the maiden. But every single race since that race, since the Churchill race last spring, he's been getting better and better. 4-1, I think he really get that, get him over the next bar. So at 4-1, we'll use him on the as a top selection. We'll also use the number 6 horse here. The number 6 horse, New York Traffic. For Safi Joseph Jr., his last 2 races he's been drawn in the parking lot. Most recently in the Louisiana Derby, where he was going a mile 3:16 to the fairground, drawn in the parking lot. He finished second by 1.5 lengths, and he ran a terrific race. Just couldn't keep up late, and was a little drifting. But he outran his odds at 26-1. Before then, the Risen Star finished third by 1.25 lengths. He's with him early on. He just kind of hit the wall late, but he still ran a terrific race. And then before that, Gulfstream going a mile 16th, he won on the front end all throughout. If there's going to be a speed horse that can win at 10-1, I think he could also get the job done. So we'll use him on the multis. And I also think Shake Some Action, another horse coming in from the fairgrounds, where he just ran a little bit of a disappointing 6th in the Louisiana Derby, but he's another horse. He's been training well at the fairgrounds since. I'm going to give him another shot here with a long stretch. But to recap my selection for the 10th from Churchill, it is the Grade 3 Matt Winn. As a top selection, we'll take the 11 horse Attachment Rate. We'll go 11, 6, 9, 10 in the superfecta, 11, 6, 9 in the multi-race. Let's get to the nightcap race number 11 from Churchill. Race number 11 from Churchill. It's the War Chant Stakes. Purse $100,000. Race for 3-year-olds here. We have a field of 15 horses entered to go the distance of ground of 1,600 meters, or the distance of ground of 1 mile on the Churchill turf course. 1,600 meters, 1 mile turf course. And before getting further, I'm quite thankful I have some bit of a voice after doing this video. It's a really bad allergy day here in New York City with the tree pollen, and it really screws up my throat. That's why if I'm talking a little quietly today, it's because of that. Because if I raise my voice, it's going to start crackling, and I don't want to do that. But the top selection here in the nightcap, I'm going to go with the 2-horse Bodie Cream. We'll go 2-9, 5-11 in the superfecta. 2-9, 5-11 super. Top selection, 2-horse Bodie Cream. This 3-year-old gelding by Bodie Meister. Danny Pish trains. Deshaun Parker comes in for the mount. The horse's most recent outing came 29th of February at the fairgrounds, mile 16th in Black Gold Stakes, and the horse finished third by 1/4 lengths. And he basically stalked early on. He just couldn't get there late, but I still thought he ran a decent race. 2 back in the Texas Turf Mile at Sam Houston, 1 mile in January 26th. He won by 3.5 lengths, and he sat back early, had a great turn of foot, and he got the job done. Very impressive victory against stakes quality horses for the first time, and at the fairgrounds on a good self-yielding turf course, mile 16th and Ops 50 right before New Year's. He finished second by half length again. Didn't break that well, but he had a great turn of foot. He just missed at the end. Not a bad run. And then before that, going 7.5 at for Tom on the turf course in his turf debut. He broke the main by 3/4 length again, closing up well from the backpack. Very, very good run. I like him a lot here at 12-1. I think he'll get a good trip on this turf course. Let's take him. I also think you have to use the 9-horse Smooth Like Straight for Michael McCarthy coming in from Southern California to run. Most recently in this Pasadena right before March on the 29th of February, he finished second by length, and he just hit the wall late. But he just he couldn't get to the winner. But he still ran a terrific race there. But he won the Speed Mile Del Mar very nicely in December. And then in the Eddie Logan, he just couldn't keep up late. But they were running very fast that day. He's another horse. If he slows it down on the front end, I think he can win. Let's use him here. But to recap my selection for 11th from Churchill, it's the War Chant Stakes. Let's take his top selection, the 2-horse Bodie Cream. We'll go 2-9, 5-11 in the superfecta, 2-9 in the multi-race to end it off. So good luck to all, and please follow me on Twitter at HorseRacingKit5. Good luck, everyone.